Nothing for Fnatic right now.
All right, let's get things started. Take it away.
All right, TT1 will be our blue Protoss in the bottom left-hand corner, coming off his fresh win over Hey Pro. In the top right-hand corner, we have Liquid's very own Sheth. Yes, we love you, Sean. He is actually in chat right now. You guys should converse with him. It's a good opportunity to meet such a cool pro, and I'm excited to see what Sheth brings to the table for this ZVP on Xel'Naga Caverns.
Or what he will do differently than his partner in crime, Hey Pro.
His Zerg predecessor has fallen on the battlefield.
Decides to pick Xel'Naga Caverns. Now, certainly not as bad of a map for Zerg as it is against Terran, but still going to let us know what Sheth is up to, because your natural is, of course, very, very hard to defend. And so a quick hatch is going to be a little bit more difficult to pull off.
The good thing for Zerg, though, is that it's harder to defend on both ends.
That is very true.
All ends are way, way better on Xel'Naga Caverns than they are on a lot of other maps. TT1 probably not going to use that Nexus first style that we've been talking about on this map. I highly doubt it, but he might. You never know.
And Sheth, the ever-mannered player, throwing out the have fun, good luck Pyam.
With the added smiley face.
I love it! Every
Makes
time.
It so much better.
Every time a game's done and he's forced to GG out, it's the GG well-played smiley face, and it's so nice.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, right? You have to respect the people that you're playing with and respect your opponents. And to be honest, there's not enough of the good side of things. I know people have started taking notice to Sheth being very manner and, you know, always saying good game and stuff like that. But people like that need to be highlighted a lot more in the community, because there's more of them than you would think. And it's actually a lot cooler to be like that than it is to just leave the game. Yes, it creates a lot of drama. Yes, it's
good for viewers, I suppose.
For a couple days. But at the end of the day, it's really just about respect between players, and players at this level have nothing but respect for each other.
And Sheth being an absolutely fantastic player on top of that, I love all the success that he's gotten recently, and it's all well-deserved. So there you go. I guess we just all expressed our love for Sean there. But nonetheless, looks like it was Forge first for TT1, but he put that up pretty late once again. He actually scouted the 13 pool pretty early, but yet decided to wait on that Forge until he had about 300 minerals in the bank. So Photon Cannon following that, and of course the Nexus, so everything looks pretty similar to what we saw last time.
Yeah, Gateway will try and tighten up that wall just a little bit. Chef gonna get in there with his Overlord, take a peek at what's going on. Hey guys, I'm gonna head on out. So, I don't want to die to that cannon like you do sometimes see. I love it when players forget about their Overlord and just drive right into the cannon that's coming up. Oh, we'll force a cancel on the cannon that was coming in at the mineral line, and TT1 is going to be forced to do a little bit of dirty work here with his probes. I'm sure not too happy about that.
No, not at all.
And Sheth might be able to get another cancel off on that cannon. Is that a cannon or a pylon? Okay.
That's a cannon there, yeah. And he's already pulling these probes offline for a while. They are forced to defend, as you mentioned before. It looks like one Ling has gone down, but the shields for this Nexus were taking quite a hit. One probe does fall. Actually, maybe two of them just went down there. They did.
Yep.
So two probes have fallen. A good little game for just one Zergling.
Yeah, no doubt about that. He did produce a few more Zerglings than he probably would have liked at this point, but he can drone up behind this. Right now we do see TT1 up, 3 drones, and there we go. Sheth has caught up now. And Sheth not going to take a gas here for quite a while. Probably just going to drone up, add a couple extra, maybe an extra queen.
Yeah.
But still, interesting style from Sheth here. He's really going to power up, it looks like, on economy. Floating 300... 380 minerals right now. Not sure what he's waiting for. Probably an Overlord to get some drones.
Yeah, I would imagine so. As he's already droning pretty effectively, so he's already surpassed TT1 at this point. Of course, he is on even basis with his opponent for the time being, but he's already starting to pick away the destructible rocks.
There's a quick third.
And there's a third.
So Sheth going to go with the safer avenue of a third. Not going to go for that gold right away, which definitely is an option on this map. It's a little bit more risky.
Yeah.
Harder to get your creep tumor all the way out there.
Certainly.
And the back expansion here, TT1 will scout this right away, and he's going to figure out, you know, Sheth is going for that super quick third. He could potentially put a pylon back there on the high ground, warp in zealots to harass the mineral line.
Very annoying.
Yeah, very annoying and effective on this map.
Yeah, certainly. Pretty much any harassment right around the back. This plateau here gives you a lot of flexibility of being able to run right through the bushes and into the natural. You can pull units off the line and force them to defend in multiple locations. So it would offer T21 quite a bit of flexibility, although we do see a 4-gate follow-up. So this is going to be 5-gate, 1 base for the time being.
Sheth had an Overlord
with
right there
yeah.
as soon as all those gateways went up. So he's going to know exactly what's going on. And I love that. A lot of players just sit on the outside of the Protoss player's base, skirting it with Overlords. They rarely dart in and out.
Just hoping. It's well worth the 100 resources to gain that information.
That is the point I was trying to make. Sacrifice Overlords at timings throughout the game at which you think you have a chance of catching your opponent doing something. When Protoss players tend... And here we have a couple Zealots trying to clean up these Zerglings, but they will get surrounded. A glorious death for Ire as both of them go out, taking out as many Zerglings as possible. But what I was saying is a lot of players need to figure out those timings. When do Protoss players add those gateways after they fast expand? Yeah. Then you get a time frame in the game. Oh, they're doing it around the 7-minute mark. That's probably your highest percentage chance to get some info if you sacrifice an Overlord. So figure out those timings with your friends, your practice partners. And here we have Sheth re-scouting again, just to see if, hey, did he cancel some of those after I saw it? Is he putting up different kinds of tech?
Right.
So I really like that as well from Sheth. The double take on the scout is nice.
And on the flip side, this is good building placement out of T21 as well, because this robotics facility has no chance of being scouted for a while. And whereas Sheth may be preparing for some sort of a 5-gate attack, given what he saw, he did produce a lot of roaches, a lot of lings. Although smartly droned right behind this, so not overcommitting because he has not seen the push come at him yet, and has pretty good map control for the time being. But T21 still not showing that tech switch until it's going to be the last instant. This Overlord is probably going to get over there eventually. A couple of lings may make their way down. But TT1 is doing a fair job, but Sheth, it looks like he's really well prepared to receive any sort of mid-game aggression.
Yeah, TT1 once again losing pretty sizable amount of Zealots here early on in the game. We also saw this against HeyPro, but HeyPro did lose a lot of lings, and Sheth used a few roaches without speed to deal with it.
Right.
So roaches obviously much more effective against Zealots. Going to take a lot less, or you're not going to take very many losses dealing with Zealots with roaches, and this puts Sheth in a pretty good position here. This is right around the same time in the last game where we saw TT1 actually up on supply. Yes. This time we have Sheth up on supply. 114 to 92 now, and that looks a little bit more right to me. Sheth has been, I'd say, much more streamlined with his tech choices in this game. We have armor, we have roach speed coming now. This is after he produced some roaches.
Yeah.
It seems... And now we have +1 on the way as well, so really getting those upgrades going.
And this build gave him a lot of flexibility as well, because he decided to go for Carapace 1 first, which I think is a smart move, given that the Protoss player is usually going to go after that +1 weapons anyway. And in this case, he didn't, but under most circumstances is what I'm referring to. But anyway, actually, I'll take that back. No, he did. Okay, that +1 arm that's coming up now is just a little bit afterwards. The insurgents are trying to go after the pylons down here in the bottom right-hand corner, but he got the +1 Carapace, so it's going to offer him flexibility in going between, decide if you want to do some sort of a Ling and Fest or Ultra build, or he could pretty easily go up to multiple Roaches and then even go into Hydras if the situation called for it, which with a primarily Stalker and Immortal composition, we may very well see Hydra Den as we go along, but these Immortals are going to be pretty darn effective at taking out a lot of forces that come out of here.
Yeah, TT1 loves throwing in 2 to 3 Immortals into his army mix against Zerg, and he's now working off of dual Robos, and he's double pumping Immortals, so he's really committing to Immortals here. Gonna try and hit a solid timing window. He will be able to deny this gold, but Sheth is flanking around the right-hand side. It looks like he might be headed in towards the natural. TT1 gonna start to pull back. Did TT1 get the gold hatchery? I don't believe he did, and he's going to be forced back, and Sheth going to pull out without losing any units, and keeping his gold hatchery alive and just keeping TT1 on his toes.
Yeah, absolutely. And even if he just utilizes this from production for a little while, it's already become a pretty good worth for him. We do have the Hydralisk Den coming up, so he's going to move his bed. Roach Hydra composition, something we saw quite a while ago in the game, but here we are. The engagement is about to happen. Roaches are doing quite a bit of damage, but a couple of good force fields kept the ones at bay on the left-hand side, so Sheth's not able to engage with all of his forces at any one given point in time, but he's producing just so much stuff. It doesn't matter how much TT1 is throwing at him, even with this cute little flank. There were already infestors in position to pin those in place, and TT1 just immediately GG's.
Even with his cute little flank there, just gets denied. I love it. TT1 getting completely overrun there. Sheth way up on supply. And, yeah, that pretty much says it. That was just very solid macro from Sheth, and TT1 pushed at the wrong time.
Yeah, Sheth's build was just perfectly positioned to stop any sort of two-base aggression. So, very, very good job there, Sheth. He ties up the set 1-1. We'll go into the next game in just a second.